The organization Chinese Human Rights Defenders (CHRD) says dozens of activists have been taken into police custody or placed under house arrest in recent months. Harry Potter actress Emma Watson denies bullying claim. Actress Emma Watson has denied claims that bullying drove her to take a break from prestigious U.S. university. Media reports had said students at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island, had teased her about the role as Hermione in the Harry Potter's films. But in a statement on her website, Ms. Watson, 21, said, "I've never been bullied in my life." She said she did not know what she wanted to do after September, but would focus on acting for the time being. She had enrolled at Brown in September 2009, initially to study literature. Reports had alleged that students set 10 points to Gryffindor, a reference to House of Hogwarts and the School of Wizards in Harry Potter films, when Ms. Watson correctly answered a question in class. Ms. Watson said, "I felt the need to let you all know the reason I took a semester off from Brown had nothing to do with bullying, as the media have been suggesting recently. I have never been bullied in my life, and certainly never at Brown. This 10 points to Gryffindor incident never even happened. I feel the need to say this because accusing Brown students of something as serious as bullying and this causing to me leave seems beyond unfair." Last month, she announced she was taking time to study to focus on her film career. New European Union regulations on herbal medicines come into force. New European Union rules come into force today, banning hundreds of traditional herbal remedies. The European Union law aims to protect consumers from possible damaging side effects of over-the-counter herbal medicines. For the first time, new regulations will allow only long-established and quality-controlled medicines to be sold. But both herbal remedy practitioners and manufacturers fear they could be forced out of the business. To date, the industry have been covered by the 1968 Medicines Act, drawn up when only a handful of herbal remedies were available and the number of herbal practitioners were very small. But surveys show that around a quarter of all adults in the UK have used a herbal medicine in the past 2 years, mostly bought over the counter in health food shops and pharmacies. The regulations will cover widely used products such as echinacea, St. John's wort, and valerian, as well as traditional Chinese and Indian medicines. But safety concerns are focused on the powerful effects of some herbal remedies as well as the way they interact with conventional drugs. For example, St. John's wort can interfere with contraceptive pill, while ginkgo and ginseng are known to have similar effect to blood-thinning drug like warfarin. From now on, only products that have been assessed by the Medicine and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency (MHRA) will be allowed to go on sale. Manufacturers will have to prove that their products have been made to strict standards and contain a consistent and clearly marked dose. And to count as a traditional medicine product must have been in use for the past 30 years, including 15 years within the European Union. They will also only be approved for minor ailments like coughs, colds, muscular aches and pains, or sleep problems. Royal newlyweds celebrate Buckingham Palace. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have celebrated their marriage with dinner and dancing at Buckingham Palace, along with about 300 friends and family. The bride wore a white evening gown by Sarah Burton, who created her wedding dress to the event. The couple stayed at the palace after the reception, which lasted into the early hours. It's thought that they may depart for their honeymoon later, though details of their plans have not been made public. The reception hosted by Prince of Wales is believed to have featured Prince Harry's best man speech and Michael Middleton, father of the bride's address. A St. James Palace spokesman said the new Duchess had donned a white Angora bolero cardigan over her white satin gazelle dress, which featured a circled skirt and diamond-embroidered detail round her waist. Her sister Pippa changed for the evening reception into a long emerald green sleeveless dress with a jeweled embellishment on the front and a plunging neckline. Their mother, Mrs. Middleton, wore a black capped sleeve dress, cut low at the front and back with a tight skirt. The Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh did not attend, having left for a private weekend away. Clarence House spokesperson Patty Harverson told the reporters he believed the Duke and Duchess could return to a relatively private life in Anglesey despite the wedding spectacle. Mr. Harverson said, "I think it's because it will be about striking the balance between their public lives. But the most important thing to remember is that he is not heir to the throne. He is second in line and he is not a full-time royal. He's a full-time pilot working at a normal job for Royal Air Force, RAF, search and rescue. And so he will be doing that most of the time, and she as his wife will be with him. So in that sense, their natural home, their natural palace will be up in Wales. And I think people will understand that." We'll move on to the business world. China's yuan rises past 6.50 against the US dollar. China's currency yuan strengthened past a key level against the US dollar on Friday as part of a wider efforts to contain inflation on the mainland. The yuan broke past 6.50 against the dollar, a level not seen since 1993. Traders and currency strategists believe that the move is a sign that China's central bank is prepared to allow the currency to appreciate further. The stronger currency means imported products become cheaper in China. "The market is very excited," said Darius Kowalczyk, a Hong Kong-based strategist at Credit Agricole (CIB). Clearly, the People's Bank of China is pushing a stronger pace of appreciation. China's central bank actively guides the level of the yuan by effectively setting the rate at which it is allowed to trade. Mr. Kowalczyk said the yuan had gained by 0.9% against the dollar so far in April, roughly equivalent to its entire gain in the first 3 months of 2011. Welcome to the world of science. NASA delays shuttle Endeavour's mission. The final mission of NASA's Endeavour shuttle has been delayed by at least 72 hours because of a technical problem. The orbiter is being held on the ground while engineers investigate a failure in a unit that powers the vehicle's hydraulics. America's youngest rescuable space plane is set to deliver a $2 billion particle physics experiment to the International Space Station, ISS. U.S. President Barack Obama had planned to attend the liftoff in Florida. He took off a tour of the Kennedy Space Center, KSC, with his family instead. Also present at the spaceport to see the ascent was Endeavour commander Mark Kelly's wife, Gabrielle Giffords, the Arizona congresswoman shot in the head by a gunman in January. She had a 10-minute private meeting with the president. It was not immediately clear, however, whether she would stay to see her husband's next attempt to get into space or return to Houston, Texas, where she has been undergoing rehabilitation. And in sports, Sri Lanka row over cricket match-fixing allegations. Sri Lanka cricket authorities say they will hold a special meeting to discuss match-fixing allegations made by former captain of the national team. Hashan Tilagaratne claimed that the match-fixing has been a widespread practice in Sri Lankan cricket since 1992. He made the comments on a television talk show earlier this week. The chairman of Sri Lanka Cricket told the reporters that the board will meet on Saturday to decide the next course of action. We will take a decision on what action would be taken on Hashan Tilagaratne's allegation, D.S. De Silva told BBC Sinhala. He did not comment on whether an investigation into the allegations might be launched. Hashan Tilagaratne could not be contacted for any further comment. The cricketer was a member of the national team between 1984 and 2004 and was part of the World Cup winning squad in 1996. He was captain for 1 year between 2003 and 2004. Match fixing is not something that started happening yesterday or today. This has been happening since 1992. And I know all the people who are connected to it. Tilagaratne told Sinhala language television talk show. He promised to reveal the name of the suspects shortly. This has been spread like cancer today, he added. Tilagaratne's comments on the talk show were published in Sri Lanka's Daily Mirror newspaper on Friday. Channaga De Silva, sports editor of the paper, said the allegations were very serious considering Tilagaratne's role as a former captain. And before we close today's bulletin of news analysis, let's have a recap of the main points. Libya, Gaddafi says he won't be forced from his country. U.S. tobacco firms win Missouri hospital case. U.S. stem cell research funding ban lifted by court. China releases prominent human rights lawyer Teng Biao. New European Union regulations on herbal medicines come into force. Royal newlyweds celebrate Buckingham Palace. And there we end today's bulletin of news analysis. Be with us in the coming weeks too. Thank you.